So what I'm doing right now is something that somebody suggested in the comment section below, and I always take you guys' comments very seriously. And even though I was pretty much 110% that this keyhole was matched up perfectly, I'm just checking it just to make sure that that is not the issue. I always check everything before I go to the most extreme option. So we're gonna stick with the injectors, getting the new injectors, the 150 injectors. Hopefully that fixes the problem. Another guy messaged me saying that the injector lines, I could upgrade these to stainless steel 93 over injector lines, and that might fix the loping problem. And it's not a loping problem. I know I said that in the last video, but when I say loping, I mean more of like a surging problem. Like it'll surge, and I know it's not supposed to surge. So that's more of the problem that I'm having right now. It's like the injectors can't keep up with the pump, which is what I'm gonna stick with for now. Like I said, I was just checking this today to make sure that wasn't my problem. So now that that all checks out, I'll go ahead and put the washer and 27mm bolt back on there, or nut, and put it down to, remember this goes to 125 foot-pounds. If you want to know how to do the entire injection pump install, I have a video on my channel that will explain everything in depth for you guys. But as soon as I put this in, I'm going to be sharing with you some exciting news. If the video quality isn't up to par with the Canon, it's because it's the Hero 4 right now. I usually pull out the Hero 4 when I'm inside the engine bay because it gives sort of a wide angle, and plus I have this stabilizer on here which makes the picture a lot smoother, so when I'm pointing at things and talking about it, it gives it a wider look and you can see what I'm actually talking about. So there's a few exciting things coming up for the build, and yesterday I actually ordered the turbo for it. So we're going to be getting rid of this whole set HY35 turbo, which is the stock turbo, and we're going to be getting a new turbo. I'll give you a couple hints on it because I don't want to leave you out to dry. So it is going to be a T4 housing turbo. I am going to have to get, well, I already did get the HX40 downpipe for it. So I'm going to have to go to a weld shop and get that welded on, because I unfortunately don't have a means to weld it here at the house, or any friends around here that weld. Back home I do, but not here. So I'm going to have to get this thing like towed maybe to the, once I put the seed speed exhaust manifold on and the new turbo on, which will be here in a few days hopefully, I'll have to get it towed over to the exhaust shop to get them to weld on the new downpipe for the turbo so it all matches up and stuff. It's pretty much just going to be a turbo that I'll be able to throw in here, and everything will match up, everything will look good, and everything will work properly the way it should. But with that all said, it's going to be a very busy week coming up this next week because I have VLC starting on next Monday the 13th. So I have to get all of this done before then. So the injectors were sent back to DAP, the 100 horse injectors, which I'm getting upgraded to 150 horsepower injectors. So that's all going to be sorted out and hopefully smooth out, and the injectors will be able to keep up with the hot rod pump. And a lot of you were asking why I got a hot rod pump. The reason why, at the end of the day, you got to make one decision, right? So the reason why I went with the hot rod VP44, because eventually I want this truck ideally to be not my daily driver. I want this truck to be a fun built truck that I can take out on the weekends. That's eventually what I want this truck to be. I don't want this truck to be a daily forever. So I went ahead and got the hot rod VP44. And no, I know what you guys are saying I should have just went with the P-pump swap then. Well, I don't have the means for that right now. So everything considered, trust me, the hot rod VP44 was best for right now. I know you were saying that I could just get a standard output pump with the 150 horsepower injectors and it would handle it fine. I know all that, but eventually maybe I want this truck to be, long story short, eventually I may want this truck to be faster and built more, and I would need the hot rod VP44 for that in the future. So to answer all that question, like I said, at the end of the day, you got to pick one. Pros to cons, apples to apples, I figured this would be the best option for me. So I got the hot rod VP44, but a guy mentioned to me on Instagram that I should maybe look at getting upgraded injector lines, a 93 over stainless, maybe from industrial, and that might help the surging or loping, if you will. And I know I might have a little bit of a lope, but I want to minimize that as much as possible. Maybe upgrading the injector lines eventually if the 150 horsepower injectors don't help it. And I'm okay with a lope every once in a while, but when it's surging erratically, like you guys seen in the last video, that's not what I want. But my goal in the next 5 to 7 days is to get this thing fully up and running with the new turbo, steed speed manifold, the exhaust gas temperature line. Of course, the steed speed manifold has a port for it, so that'll be all good. I'll just be able to tap that right into the steed speed. So that's going to be one of the things that I'm gonna have to do. Another thing that I'm kind of worried about the timeline is not getting the injectors back from DAP, because they said I have to have the injectors there before they'll send me and price quote me to send me 150. So I'm gonna call them on Monday, see if there's anything we can possibly do. Since I've already shipped it, I have a tracking number for them, so I'm gonna talk to them about that, see if we can get it all worked out. So by Friday, the truck is fully running, new turbo, steed speed manifold, and 150 over horsepower injectors, and then we're gonna see if everything runs smoothly like I want it to. Now if it doesn't, the next thing we're going to be looking into is possibly a bad injection front from industrial, which I really don't think that that's a problem. I mean, they are a really notable company and a really popular company, and I really don't think that they would mess something up. But like I said, not leaving any stone unturned with this surging and loping. Maybe I need to upgrade the injector lines. Let me know. I know nothing about injector lines, and this YouTube channel has helped me so much with information. So let me know if the injector lines might need to be upgraded. I know they're super expensive, like stupid expensive, makes no sense. But let me know what you guys think about the injector lines. Would that help my problem? If I went 150 horsepower injectors, pretty soon you're going to know what turbo I went with, but I don't want to ruin it yet. And with the industrial injection BP44 hot rod, would that fix my problem of a surge or a lope? It's kind of hard to explain because it's not a lope. It's not a, when I think of a lope, it's like a constant tone. But when it's, the problem I'm having right now, it isn't a constant tone. It's like a surging. It's like erratic and sporadic, and it's not the same. So that's the problem I'm having right now, and hopefully that'll all fix it. Like I said, just with the upgrading of the injectors, hopefully that fixes it. That's most likely the problem I'm running into right now, and hopefully we get it all fixed. But that's gonna do it for this video today, guys. I was actually hoping my lights would come in today. I just checked the mail actually, and they weren't in, so hopefully but the mail actually hasn't even ran yet, so I was hoping they actually got in yesterday, I should say. So hopefully later this afternoon my lights will come in, and then I'll be able to show you what they are. I'm very excited about them. I think you guys are going to love them, and that'll give us a video in between. Also with, of course, the axle. I was just looking at the axle. I pressure washed it. It still looks clean down there, paintable. And then the rear leaf springs. These things look horrible, guys. I'm going to have to paint these things. Like I said, pressure washer too close, but hopefully we'll be able to get that all fixed soon. But if everything works out as planned, hopefully I'll have this truck up and running, and it's going to be a lot faster, a lot better built. But I'm definitely going to have to take it easy on the truck. You guys know I don't have a built tranny yet, so I'm going to have to build that tranny with all the engine work that I have coming to it. And another thing that I want to go with, and comment down below if you have any suggestions, is a color for the engine bay. Gonna paint this, the intake elbow, the valve cover, the turbo. I was almost gonna get powder coated, but I didn't get it powder coated actually. I was talking to the guy for like 30 minutes about it, and I decided, you know what, I don't need to underthink what color I'm gonna go with the engine bay. Probably gonna get this painted, these lines painted, maybe get the injector lines powder coated. I don't know. This of course powder coated. Just like pretty much what everyone does, just powder coating pretty much the same things. Like I said, hopefully by Friday we'll have this truck fully mission capable and up and running, and be able to enjoy everything that goes with it. I appreciate you all watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next couple of days for sure for the next video, and I'll see you in the next one.
We left the movies with Uzi, Suzuki wheels to the jacuzzi. I tell you my boobies real, yeah. I mean she do be winning, Louis spinning. Go to the